Hi everybody, this is my service learning project for IPC 450 capstone. My name is Matt Suter and I chose the Water Street mission. So some objectives for the presentation. I'm going to cover what is service learning and the topic that I chose to focus on. My agency where I completed my service learning. And through that, I'll be addressing some key components of the population served. So that'll be socially, politically, economically, and culturally. What I ultimately did for my project and my service learning contract objectives. Finally, I will do an analysis and reflection. So service learning, it's an educational approach that combines learning objectives with community service to provide an experience that meets the needs of a society. So with that is being a current registered nurse and providing, completing my service learning at the Water Street Mission, I was able to get a better idea of the homeless population in Lancaster, which will ultimately help and guide me to see the big picture and help care for my patients. So I chose to focus on heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in America. As many people would think that cancer would be right up there. Heart disease has and will be the #1 killer in America for some time. So if we're able to alter our lifestyle, we can reduce the effects of heart disease in America. I originally sought to participate with the American Heart Association to complete my service learning hours. I was unable to make thorough communication with the American Heart Association. So Plan B was the Water Street Mission, due to its being local and really accommodating to my schedule. So the Water Street Mission is a local homeless shelter based here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. There is a wide range of age, ethnicity, gender, and education level at the shelter. This will ultimately help me address heart disease through an array of different avenues. So the needs of the Water Street Mission, obviously, this population needs to be sheltered. They need nutrition, and there needs to be guidance and support available to aid this population in their goals. So I was able to provide intervention and reinforcement for some lifestyle modification in order to prevent heart disease. Key components of the population served. Socially, I was able to actively engage and create rapport with staff, volunteers alike, and residents of the Water Street Mission. This was done through engagement in food preparation, serving food, bussing tables, cleaning. I was able to demonstrate through my time spent there that ultimately I was there to help this population, and I could tell they thoroughly appreciated my involvement. So I engaged in playing board games with some residents, and really allowed to kind of help them drop their guard a little bit and kind of talk to me about whatever was going on in their life, or things that they needed to talk about, which ultimately allowed me kind of an avenue to go through some different lifestyle modification things in relation to heart disease. So ultimately, so a lot of great conversation. They actually enjoyed watching some movies, again, allowing for rapport to be developed. So politically, being able to research some resources out there for the public. I actually was pleasantly surprised what was there available on some state and federal websites. Here you can see this talks about the Fair Housing in Pennsylvania, which is more of a program that allows for the ability for anybody to obtain cheap and safe housing, in order to aid for people to get out of the mission as soon as possible and get back up on their feet. This would be one resource that would be able to be utilized for this. I was also able to see just how many programs there are and opportunities for this population to access, and then again being able to advocate for tax reduction and financial responsibility to care for this population as well. Economically, so 90% of Water Street's resources are donated or received from local businesses or residents. I thought that was amazing. You can see the Turkey Hill emblem that I put. A lot of the beverages that were provided there were directly from Turkey Hill. I mean, again, that's something that, knowing that Turkey Hill might not be thoroughly owned by a local company anymore, but everybody in Lancaster County knows Turkey Hill, right? So again, being able to see that Turkey Hill is giving back and being able to provide resources for this community was ultimately satisfying to me. And then there is also multiple other local businesses and stuff that aid. To know that local churches act here on a weekly basis. I actually met a sorority from Harrisburg that usually serves there about once a month. So again, there are a lot of local resources and help goes a long way. And ultimately, to see the big picture for myself is investing more in those companies that are actually giving back to the community. So that would be, my one thing. My bagel slicer story. So I was actually able to have that immediate, aside from volunteering my time and helping out, a bagel slicer was broken while I was there, and I was able to see just how reliant they were on that and the appreciation that they actually had for stuff that was donated and, to be used by residents. So, the next day, the satisfying, the gratifying part of being able to drop this off, and they were so excited and and to know that they truly do care for what they have. So culturally, just maintaining the mindfulness moving forward of some of the foods that are donated and prepared, more based on the American diet. Again, seeing the different cultures and ethnicity of the mission is, maybe of being able to donate or provide more culturally based foods, geared to them, instead of, maybe different things for breakfast or lunch, or, maybe even engaging in different, celebrations of different cultures. Picture of the children here. I did notice that there were some women with younger children, and again, being able to have the resources to gear more towards younger children and stuff, and not necessarily having to grow up so quickly, and be able to have some things that would be geared towards the children and help them in their growth and maturity. So my service project. So here's a picture. This is during the winter shelter, 4-hour shifts for the winter months that would actually helps residents stay after breakfast. So there would be a period of time from I believe it was like 8 o'clock to about 12 or so, and then again in the afternoon there would be 4 hours where the residents were able to stay in the dining hall here and stay in from the cold weather, and where this is where we played board games and stuff. So this is a picture I would actually one of the fellow students, we had the idea of putting movies on, so I kind of ran with that then for being able to have a little heart health presentation before I put the movies on like the following week. So it was more of my deal with them is, hey, if you sit through this for 5 minutes and you pick up some heart health information, we'll play some more movies for you. So they were receptive to that. So overall, project revisions and considerations, I think it was good overall. The implementation, I think if I had done this right away without really building rapport with everybody, and they got to know me a little bit, so then they were more willing to listen to what I had to say. And I think doing it at the end, really like I did, because then it was more of a fun learning environment. I still got the ribbing of having to put this stuff on before the movies, but ultimately I think they were satisfied with the information and my goal. So the limitations obviously would be from the nutrition aspect is, with the foods being donated is they're providing or they're preparing the foods that are donated is they don't have the ability to always have fresh fruits and vegetables. I mean, I was very pleased to see that they did. Again, encouraging and raising the awareness of this population that, look, you have the ability to have fresh fruits and vegetables at each meal. To take advantage of that and really appreciate the opportunity. So, service learning contract objectives. So here you go. You can read over those, identifying immediate risk factors, teaching, identifying these modifiable lifestyle choices, and then having the ability to have the one-on-one opportunities with residents was important. So the objectives met. Obviously, the risk factors of heart disease in this population would be the poor nutrition, which could lead to hypertension, high cholesterol, lack of vitamins and minerals, lack of education, where again, older population where they've smoked for a long time because the information hasn't been there, but actually the younger population that I know has received information in school, growing up and having still the lifestyle choices of smoking. So lack of resources. So this could be led to they do have access there to healthcare at Water Street, which is a great opportunity. I'm just along these lines is more of having somebody with diabetes not really having the opportunity to have glucometers and that type of modifiable lifestyle choices. Again, tobacco cessation, avoiding processed foods, and getting 30 minutes of exercise. So I was able to I met with an older man that was smoking, that would frequently go out and take smoke breaks and stuff. And I, just giving him the opportunity to have the information for Lancaster General that has free classes. Everyone had smartphones and access to the internet, so they were able to really ultimately have the access to these classes. So, and then also meeting with the young woman and talking about the opportunities of actually working at a place where they could have the tuition reimbursement and, really gripping and taking hold of those opportunities and motivating them to keep bettering themselves. Young man. So then I was actually in the fruit and vegetable serving, and, I was just constantly encouraging, hey, get your fruits and vegetables, So analysis. Overall, they were better for me having me there, and I benefited from seeing everything. It's going to impact me forever, personally and professionally. So I'm definitely a better person overall for having done this. So.